Avery Freeman, a civil rights attorney and law professor, and Richard Herman, a criminal defense attorney and law professor. Good to see both of you.
Hi, Frederica.
So good to see you. Just a few weeks ago, the Department of Justice refused to bring charges against the officer. A grand jury in 2014 did not indictment. This new recommendation to fire him, coming from an NYPD judge, but now it's a suspension. So, Richard, what's with this journey?
Fred, this is absolutely a tragic, completely unavoidable, horrible scenario that happened here. And for the family of Mr. Garner, you can't feel enough for them. But there's another side to the story here, Fred. Mm-hmm. And when a police officer arrives on a scene and gives a direct order to someone to stand down, put your hands behind your back, you're under arrest, that's not up for discussion or negotiation or modification. If you don't listen to that order, Fred, we talk about this all the time, nothing good is going to happen. Had Mr. Garner turned around and listened to the order from the police officers, we would not be discussing this case here today.
No.
What happened was he resisted arrest. The situation was escalating. He's 6'2", 400 pounds. The police officers felt
this
fear
was
for
over selling
themselves
some
and for the community around them.
And
they subdued him.
Come on.
They subdued him, Fred. They subdued him, and they did it. And it was accidental, and there's a lot of causes for his death. It wasn't just because of the hold, and this was the violation. The clasping of the hands caused the violation of a policy, New York police policy. There were no criminal charges brought here, and there was also a finding by that same administrative law judge, Fred, that Pantaleo did not intentionally hamper the breathing of Mr. Garner. I don't think he's going to get terminated. I think the commissioner is not going to terminate him, and I think he's going to keep his job here, Fred. I really do.
Avery?
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, a centerpiece was the selling of the cigarettes, and it led to this man's death.
And it led to using a chokehold, according to a 47-page careful analysis. The idea of justifying it is mind-boggling to me. The issue is, was a chokehold used? Both sides, the union put evidence on, the prosecutors put evidence on, and the conclusion, Frederica, was that this was a banned procedure. It violated NYPD rules, and frankly, that's why there's a recommendation. What I think the judge, the deputy commissioner had in mind was, frankly, to stop excessive force problems within the department. And he will be terminated. The idea of yelling at the mayor, de Blasio, to get rid of Pantaleo, there's a process, and the process will be honored. By the end, exactly, by the end of this month, there will be a decision by Commissioner O'Neill on whether or not Pantaleo has to go. And my prediction is exactly the opposite of what Richard's saying. He's got to go, and he will be gone.
So listen to what the New York Police Union president had to say about the judge's recommendation.
To say that we had a fair process when we listened to the drumbeat of the criminal advocates who have been chanting every time anyone on the other side tries to get the truth out, that is not justice. I'm sorry to say that we have to tell our police officers, take it a step slower. Make sure we're thinking. Make sure you're making decisions in 7 seconds. Because you won't get backing.
Richard?
That's the problem, Fred. It's a split-second decision that the situation was escalating. This was a very large man, 400 pounds, 6'2". They made a decision to take him down. This officer was climbing up his back. He was twice the size of him, Fred. He put that hold on him. He clasped the hands. That was the problem.
Shameful.
There was no intent to choke him out. There was no intent to kill him. This was a policy violation only, done under split second on a situation that was escalating. And I just, if
but
you
the
are going to terminate this police officer,
and the argument of so many who viewed
the
tape would say when someone is really struggling or when they're saying I can't breathe, then there have to be some adjustments that are
exactly
made.
Right.
Okay, he had high blood
that's
pressure,
exactly
he had
right.
asthma, he had high blood pressure,
So
asthma,
what?
he was obese. So there's conflicting evidence as to the cause of death
When
here, Fred.
someone
The
says
situation
you
was,
can't breathe, when someone says you can't breathe,
people say a
you
lot of things when
stop.
they're being
There are
subdued.
things that can be done.
People say a
represent
lot of
police
things.
officers. People don't do, police officers, good cops don't do things like this. They follow the procedure.
No,
the idea
good
of
people
arguing
don't resist
it's a
arrest.
split-second
And there's
decision
a-
is 100%
Good people
wrong.
do not
And
resist
then there's also
arrest.
the
They don't
issue of
violate the law.
de-escalation. There's also the issue of de-escalation. That was also at the root of
Exactly
an argument
right.
of adjustments made or lack thereof.
It was
And there was a
escalating,
battle.
Fred. These officers feared for their safety and for the safety of people
Oh,
around
my
them.
goodness
They made a
gracious.
decision to
That
take
is
him
not
down.
true.
Had he not resisted, we would not be talking about this case today.
Read
Come
the
on. You gotta be real
47-page
about
report.
this.
Read the report. That is not
I read the
correct.
report. It's
The
a
fact
policy.
Is, no,
It's not criminal.
Oh, please.
The state couldn't indict him.
course it's not
the feds
criminal.
took a pass
It-
on him. There's no
It is
criminal
the
here.
question
There's a
of
policy
whether or not.
violation.
Okay.
And that's
future,
the question of
when there's a
whether or not a police officer should remain
right.
on the force. Period. And that's
you
what's going to
police in
happen.
the future.
Well, we'll leave
you
it
tell
there.
New
I
York City
represent police. This was inappropriate, and that's
Okay,
why he's going to
inappropriate,
lose
right.
the job.
Inappropriate. You tell New York City
Inappropriate.
police officers in the
Inappropriate.
future,
All right.
when there's a resisting arrest case, you call in for a supervisor
I'm sorry.
or someone else.
And this
Don't get
exemplifies the
involved, 'cause You're
passion.
going to get fired.
Wait,
The
this is
passion
just
of this
wrong.
case. We'll have to leave
Let's
it there
see
for
what
now,
happens in
gentlemen.
August.
Richard Herman, Avery Freeman, thank you so
Okay.
much. Appreciate it. Always appreciate you.